Yeah, I wonder if
And
I can jump in here real quick. So when this opportunity kind of a client approaches you and says, "Hey, more sustainability, glue lamb timber," what attracted you to it? Did you realize how big of a trend this would be?
no,
Because you
no,
didn't. Okay. Because I mean, on
no,
one
it
hand, it's
was,
almost you kind of grew up in the carpentry world, lots of wood, lots of detail with your grandfather. Then you go to the opposite side, none of that, kind of real steel. And now it's like, okay, and kind of where we'll get to in the future is we're going to be marrying these two up here. But what attracted you to kind of this opportunity to get away from really what you had known and what you'd been successful building over the previous whatever decade?
yeah. Do you know what? I was invited to a job site where one of the retailers was already building in Mass Timber, and it just so happened to be with our parent company, the general contractor who owned the business I was running. I was invited up saying, Nick, we heard you talking at your board meetings about Mass Timber and Tesco's. We're building this job and it's not going very well. Could you come and give us some advice? Can you translate your steel skill set?
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to the job site, and do you know what? I remember it's still vivid in my mind now, driving up to the job site and seeing this glue lamp structure. And I was just overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed by its beauty, its character. I got to the job site, the smell of wood.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like a steel fabrication shop where you can smell the iron fiber in the
Very
air.
different.
It was vastly different. And the first thing I did when I got to the job site was wanting to touch the glowlamp columns because it was, and I didn't realize at the time that's actually biophilia. That's our human connection with nature, and that is what I realized. I want to do this, and and so I got really deep into the weeds, into the detail, and what I found was absolutely nothing different to the steel world.
Mm-hmm.
It was identical. It was the same processes, just being very poorly executed at the time.
Okay.
And I said, look, I'm watching these beams going up in the air. You're taking them down again. You're having to cut holes and slots. This is prefabrication. We do this in the steel world
Mm-hmm.
all day long.
Right.
It goes to site with zero waste as a prefabricated component.